the primary difference of how are agents different from models. Models, the knowledge is limited to what the kind of data sources that is trained on. But with agents, you can extend the knowledge to your local knowledge bases via, say, like vector databases, knowledge bases, or internet via, say, Perplexity and Exa AI, etc., and via other tools as well. And agents can manage session history, so it remembers who you are, what you've done, and it kind of picks up from there on. And you have tools that are natively implemented. Now, models have started coming up with tools, which is fantastic. You saw OpenAI Operator coming up with tools as well. And finally, agents are now becoming the logic layer of business. Satya Nadella spoke about it a few months back. He again came back and spoke about it 4 days back, and his narrative has not changed. And I truly, truly believe it. Let me play that video for all of you to listen. It's a very short video. Some of you may have seen, some of you may not, but I'm going to play this.
Applications or biz apps. So let me just speak of our own dynamics thing.
Right.
The approach, at least we're taking, is I think the notion that business applications exist, that's probably where they will all collapse, right, in the agent era. Because if you think about it, right, they are essentially CRUD databases with a bunch of business logic. The business logic is all going to these agents. And these agents are going to be multi-repo CRUD, right? So they're not going to discriminate between what the backend is. They're going to update multiple databases, and all the logic will be in the AI tier, so to speak.
I'll come back to this, but I've created a representation to show you what Satya is trying to highlight. You have agent UI, like chat or whatever UI that you kind of see. The agents now form the logic layer, sales automation agent, customer service agent, HR automation agent, and so on. Because they are now taking human form, they're taking the human function. And then all your enterprise software, your SaaS platforms, your databases, they all now are reduced to system of records. They do not hold the logic anymore. Neither is your front end. It is the agents. Now, many of you, when we started the session, you spoke about vibe coding. I am a fan of vibe coding. I have accounts everywhere. I have Replit, Lovable, I have Bolt. Many of my team is kind of very divided. They like Bolt, some of them like Lovable, some of them like Replit. Now, unfortunately, they are not being used for core systems when it comes to mid to large companies. The reason is, again, what's happening with vibe coding is you are pushing all the logic to the front end, to the actual React layer altogether. And then the data sits in databases. So what Satya is trying to highlight, and he's highlighting all over again, is even in the recent video, is that is not how enterprises are thinking. Enterprises are thinking what you see here, where agents, like imagine how easy it is for you to go and track what is happening with your agent, how easy it is to track all your agents, how easy it is to track when, let me bring up something, when all these agents write into one single agent mesh, because you're able to see the connections, everything's right in front of you. It's not a black box anymore. And what if these agents continue to build one central intelligence for the organization, which is organizational general intelligence? So this is what Lyzr is building towards. But that is the thought process. Enterprises are thinking, okay, I want a lot more control and repeatability and reliability, so that if someone in my team builds a fantastic agent, I want them to share it with someone else in my team. How do I do that? So that they kind of share resources, and these agents continue to speak to one another, forming a knowledge base, so that the central intelligence comes out. So keep this architecture in mind, and let's continue to hear some more.
Speak. And once the AI tier becomes the place where all the logic is, then people will start replacing the backends, right? We people, that's what, in fact, it's interesting. as we speak, I think we are seeing pretty high rates of wins on Dynamics backends and the agent use. And we are going to go pretty aggressively and try and collapse it all, right? Whether it's in customer service, whether it is in, by the way, the other fascinating thing that's increasing is just not CRM, but even our what we call finance and operations. Because people want more AI native biz apps, right? That means the biz app, the logic tier can be orchestrated by AI and AI agents. So, in other words, copilot to agent to my business application should be very seamless. Now, in the same vein, you could even say, hey, why do I need Excel? Like, interestingly enough, one of the most exciting things for me.
Yeah, I think now he speaks on a few other topics, but this is the concept, right? And we are seeing this in action. If you look at Lyzr's, I mean, if you just look at my drawing board, and this is our team's drawing board, we continue to write these workflows. We are creating, we are churning out workflows like in tens every single day. Tens of hundreds of workflows are being shipped out every month, and we're actually making all these workflows public shortly as blueprints so that you can actually build them directly in Lyzr's workflow builder, where you can just drag and drop and clone the workflows and start building. This is going, it's already live, the beta version, but we are launching the full production version shortly. But the idea is all these workflows will be ported onto Lyzr so that you can actually train them. And this is where the market is headed. This is where the real gold is. And obviously, you may have seen the NA10 workflows, right? Like a lot of workflows being shared in the market, and those are real. NA10 workflows are real. They are a fantastic way to also hold the logic. Just that agent orchestration makes it even more dynamic and more powerful compared to workflows. And that is another topic that we'll cover today. Are agents even meaningful in the world of vibe coding? Answer is super yes. And I'm also sharing this from how the CIOs of larger organizations are thinking. But as a smaller startup, I would say vibe coding is super powerful. Almost 70% of your work should be just vibe code. So it's all about speed and move forward. But when it comes to your core systems, always try and keep agentic so that you can go back and debug and work on it. Now, moving on to conventional software versus agents, again, like I mentioned, the in conventional software, the logic is either at the front end or the logic is with the agents. But in case of agents, the logic is in the middle layer, the agent layer.